My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about beliefs. Beliefs. We're going to continue our conversation about beliefs because, again, it underpins everything. There's that quote, I can't remember exactly word for word, but something to the extent of your beliefs inform your thoughts inform your language informs your actions inform your activity develops your habits, and your habits determine your results, or something like that, right? That might be the long way around. And a lot of people have been attributed to that quote. It's fundamental. It's fundamental. Beliefs underpin everything, and whatever beliefs you happen to be holding about, especially yourself. We talked about that yesterday. This is a continuation of yesterday's conversation. The beliefs you have about yourself will determine the results that you have in your life, right? Because if you don't believe that you're good enough, then you won't do the actions that require you to create the habits that will create different results in your life. If you don't believe that it's even possible, if you didn't even believe that an ordinary Joe from middle of nowhere, rural America could go from being a movie theater usher to one of the top 10 earners in their company, then you wouldn't know that that's something that you can actually go after for yourself. We have to create the belief systems that will serve. Well, maybe serve is not the right word. That will support where we're trying to go. Yeah. Super important. I was about to say something, but it completely just left my mind. Anyways, it's all about beliefs. It's all about beliefs. So I want to talk about that today, because you got to understand that whatever beliefs you have at the moment are creating the results that you have in your life. And if you want to create new results, you have to change your beliefs. And that's where to start, right? Understand that beliefs aren't they're not concrete. They're fluid. They can change. You're not left. You don't have to be stuck with a specific belief system, especially about yourself, for the rest of eternity, right? You can change those beliefs again, especially if there are beliefs that are holding you back. I talk a lot about how our patterns and have come from significant emotional events or trauma responses from childhood, our formative years, and patterns include belief systems, right? And so we can work to relieve ourselves of those patterns, but first understanding that those patterns and those belief systems can be changed, right? And that they're not real. They're just protective mechanisms that you developed because of some trauma, big or small, during childhood. Getting made fun of on the playground, a teacher telling you you're not good enough, or a parent telling you not good enough. You know what I mean? Or that you need to do better, or what's wrong with you? Those little things, and they may not necessarily have been any malintent behind those interactions and those events in your life in the past. Because again, largely people respond and react in those ways because they have their own patterns, right? Understand that our parents have their own patterns that if they're unaware of, they end up passing down to us, and translates into our own insecurities. We can change those things, right? We don't have to continue to buy those stories. Yes, those patterns might have served us, when we were younger, but they don't have to serve. We don't have to keep carrying them through our adulthood, and especially if we're trying to make positive and lasting change. So, you wanna really start tailoring your beliefs around having a healthy image of yourself and what you're capable of. And the reality is you're capable of anything that you want. So start there. Know that anything is possible, because It is. It just really is. I live very much, I feel like a very much a Forrest Gump. I have lived a Forrest Gump life so far. I've done and seen some crazy things in my life that most people would not think even possible. But I never believed that, right? I always believed in limitless possibilities in life. And so, I found myself just yeah, just riding the amazing wave of adventure, which really literally the wave of adventure, working on the Pirates of the Caribbean movies in my 20s. That's another story for another day. But there was some great adventure being on the Black Pearl, out in the ocean, down in the Caribbean for months at a time. While technically working, right? While technically working on this film. And then, of course, my network marketing career, going from minimum wage movie theater usher to being one of the top 10 earners in my company, and what that's led to, the lifestyle that I've been able to lead, and the many adventures around the world that I've been able to have as a result of that. It's just, yeah, it's nothing short of amazing. It really surprises me every day. It continues to surprise me every day in a good way. What I have done and what I can continue to do. So I'm always like pushing for what's the next adventure, because I have a high belief level that anything is possible. So start there. Anything is possible. And then the second place to work on is know that you are capable of anything, right? Achievement and massive success isn't reserved for, those handful of few gifted special people. There's nothing special about me. It's just that I worked on my belief systems. The capabilities and abilities to have these belief systems and therefore these results, everybody is capable of that. You are capable of that. You have that within you, right? And I reference Will Smith, and I know that, that triggers a lot of different responses in people, but it's a great quote that he has, when he says, greatness isn't reserved for those select few, right? Or whatever, I'm paraphrasing. We each have that gift. We each have that gift that we can tap into, to achieve any kind of life that we want. So really, work on that belief about yourself. You are great. You are worth it. You deserve everything that you want in your life. And the way to really start rewiring your beliefs is just affirming themselves. No, not affirming themselves, but affirming those beliefs to yourself every day. Affirmations is a great way to rewire and reprogram this supercomputer that we call our minds. So work on that. Like you do those things that you might think, oh man, that's so frou-frou and woo-woo and esoteric. All of it has really actually scientific principle with when it comes to like neurological sciences, right? Neuroplasticity. The way to reprogram all these amazing neurons that we have that we're barely tapping into, to be honest, is one of those things is affirmations. Of repeatedly affirming a thing, your brain starts to believe it, right? Visualizations, repeatedly visualizing a thing with as much emotion and as much sense memory as you can, the brain starts to believe it. Vision boards, writing your movie script, all these practices, they may seem kind of like woo and nuts and new agey, but it works. Trust me, it works. I am living proof of all of these principles, and the ability to be able to program our belief systems to create the results that we want in our lives. So having the proper belief systems is tremendously important, because, and then the next piece of the story is, the limitations, as I kind of touched on this at the beginning, the limitations that we have of ourselves, we end up passing on, right? We end up passing on these limiting beliefs to the next generation. And it doesn't matter whether you have kids or not, right? You end up passing them to the people that you interact with. That ends up going one generation and then next generation. Next thing you know, limitations are encoded in our DNA and our genes. It happens. It happens. This is science, y'all. This is science. I mean, I'm not going to speak to the deep science of it because I only have 10 minutes of this episode. But to work on our own belief systems and to create healthy belief systems is also to help instill healthy belief systems in the generations to come, because then we're not passing on our baggage, right? And I actually talked about this on a live recently. I recently saw the movie, the latest Avatar movie, and the theme that really just kept calling itself out to me during that movie was sins of the father, sins of the son. We pass our demons to the next generation if we're not aware. And so this work that we do on our own belief systems is so important for ourselves, and to be able to achieve the lives that we want to achieve, and create the lives we want to achieve. But it's also so important to the next generation, and passing on a belief system of possibility, limitless possibility, and wonder, as opposed to passing on limiting beliefs. Right? Limiting beliefs. It's important work. It's important work, y'all. I talk about mindset and beliefs all the time, from a performance standpoint, from a success principle standpoint, as well as a philosophical and impact and standpoint, right? Legacy standpoint. So work on those beliefs. Work on those beliefs. And if we talk more about this in the community, it's also another great place to help rewire your belief systems, and create healthier belief systems to serve you and support you on your journey, is being around a community that will help support you on that journey as well, and help really solidify those belief systems. So come join us in our community. We have a lot of conversations about this. There's my dog right on cue as I'm about to finish the episode. We have a lot of conversations like this and more in the Path of the Network Marketer Facebook community. It's facebook.com/group/Path of the Network Marketer. I go live there a couple times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, and it's a lot more in-depth content. So it's exclusive content to that community, and also, like I said, it's a place where you can find support from the other community members as well. Right? So go check it out, Path of the Network Marketer. No, it's facebook.com/Path of the Network Marketer. No, it's facebook.com/groups/Path of the Network Marketer. Anyways, I'll leave the link in the show notes of this episode. I really appreciate you. We can talk more there, and we can interact more there. That's it for today's episode. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow with a fresh new one. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.